Stefan Bellof, one of the most naturally gifted drivers of the 1980s. A man who could bend a car to his will, who set lap records that stood for decades, and whose fearless approach to racing saw him compared to legends like Gilles Villeneuve. But fate had other plans. Before he could truly cement his place among the greats of his era, his life was cut tragically short. From his record-breaking Nürburgring lap to his near misses in Formula One, this is a story of Stefan Bellof, the mercurial lost champion of speed. Born in Germany in 1957, Bellof's rise through the ranks of motorsport was meteoric. He dominated in karting before moving to Formula Ford and Formula 3, where his raw speed was undeniable. His ability to push a car to its absolute limits caught the attention of key figures in the racing world, and by the early 1980s, it was clear that Bellof was destined for something special. Before he reached Formula 1, Bellof showcased his raw speed in Formula 2, where he frequently demolished more experienced competitors. In the 1982 European F2 Championship, Bellof's aggressive yet calculated driving style saw him take commanding victories, including a stunning performance at Silverstone, where he won by an enormous margin. His performances in F2 solidified his status as Germany's next great hope in single-seater racing. While many of his contemporaries focused solely on single-seaters, Bellof took an unconventional route. In 1983 he joined the Rothmans Porsche factory team in the World Endurance Championship, and it was here that he etched his name into history. At the Nürburgring's legendary Nordschleife, Bellof set a lap time of 6 minutes and 11 seconds in a Porsche 956, an outright record that would stand for 35 years. It was a lap that encapsulated everything about him: fearless, precise, and unbelievably fast. Bellof's performances in sports cars were remarkable not just because of his speed, but because of whom he was beating. At Porsche he regularly outperformed his teammates Jackie Ickx, Derek Bell and Jochen Mass, all established legends of sports car racing. These were drivers with years of endurance racing experience, yet Bellof made them look ordinary. His outright pace, particularly over a single lap, was something even his most accomplished teammates could not match. His performances in sports cars earned him a call up to Formula One with Tyrrell in 1984. The team was underfunded and uncompetitive, but that didn't stop Bellof from showcasing his immense talent. At Monaco, in treacherous wet conditions, he produced one of the most spectacular drives of all time. Starting from the back of the grid, he carved through the field with astonishing speed, overtaking world champions and closing in on leaders Alain Prost and Senna. If the race hadn't been stopped early, many believe it would have been Bellof rather than Senna who would have won their first Grand Prix. It was a drive that announced him as a future world champion. After becoming world sports car champion in 1984, Bellof left the Porsche factory team in 1985 to focus more on Formula One, and his potential had not gone unnoticed at Ferrari. Talks were already underway for Bellof to join the Scuderia in 1986. A future at Ferrari would have finally given him the car to challenge for world titles. But then came Spa on September 1st, 1985. Racing in the World Sports Car Championship for Brunn Motorsport, Bellof was battling Ickx for the lead at Eau Rouge. It was a high-speed fight between two fearless racers, but it ended in disaster. Bellof's car made contact with Ickx's Porsche, launching into the barriers at terrifying speeds. The impact was fatal, and motorsport had lost one of its brightest talents. But what if things had been different? If Bellof had survived, signed for Ferrari in 1986, and gone on to battle the greats of the era? Imagine a grid where Bellof was dueling with Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, Nigel Mansell and Nelson Piquet. His all-out attacking style would have made him an instant fan favourite. Could he have been the man to bring Ferrari back to championship glory before Michael Schumacher? Bellof's raw speed suggested he could have been a match for anyone. His wet weather prowess would have set up legendary battles with Senna. His ability to extract pace from an underperforming car would have made him a rival to Prost's clinical precision, and his natural aggression would have put him head-to-head with both Mansell and Piquet. And what of the next generation? If Bellof had cemented himself as Ferrari's lead driver, how would that have impacted the rise of another young German, Michael Schumacher? Would Bellof have been Schumacher's idol, or even his greatest rival? The what-ifs of Stefan Bellof's career are as fascinating as they are tragic. Stefan Bellof was more than just a great driver. He was a force of nature. His speed, his fearlessness, and his sheer passion for racing made him one of the most exciting talents of his generation. We never got to see his full potential realised, but that for those who witnessed his brilliance, there is no doubt he was a champion in the making. Had history played out differently, the name Bellof might have been spoken in the same breath as Senna, Prost, and Schumacher. What do you think? Could Bellof have redefined Grand Prix racing in the late 1980s? How could the story of Senna and Prost played out with Bellof in the mix? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Who else in F1 history deserves a what if story? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.